Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to game number 1 of the SMG invitationals. Cubit versus sirslime. We are also joined by Zoltar.
Hello.
There he is. Alright, so, this right now is a single elimination game. Like, what do you think about it? Because, you know, we all know Cubit. I don't think he really needs an introduction at all. But like, what do you think about, you know, sirslime? I mean, he is a new player. He hasn't played much yet, but still wants to join. So why not? So I would believe you would say Cubit is the favorite.
Oh, Cubit's definitely going to be the favorite going into this match. And sirslime's going to need a couple of things probably to go his way in order to take him down. Now, along with that, by the way, sirslime, though, has found a nice little area to found. Not going to have a great iron triangle or steel triangle, as he found it scientific, but he's found a little territory to make it work, and so maybe that first little bit of luck has gone his way.
Oh, wow. Cubit actually founding expansive here. That is expansive in 1 versus 1. It's like a 50-50 thing most of the time. Because sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, even though you have a good spot. Just because, you know, you need time to actually build up that base. You know, from experience of myself, you just need, you know, this time that, you know, you sometimes don't really have.
Of course, expansive players relying very heavily on expanding. And sometimes in a 1v1, you're absolutely right. You just don't have the time to go ahead and upgrade your base and actually take advantage of all those extra claims you get in doing so. So that could definitely be a concern for Cubit, having chosen to go expansive this game.
So, also nice to see, Cubit actually, I think, sirslime want to have the small water triangle that actually Cubit just sat on. So,
yeah.
Cubit just destroyed that. But, you know, lucky for sirslime, you have a water cluster in the top left, you have something in the top right. So, you know, he still has options. Also, the only problem I also see for scientific is that there's not really a silicon cluster, and not even like a triangle.
Yeah, glass is going to be difficult to get a hold of as the scientific player.
Take your hat off, boy. That's a
I think you are absolutely right, thankfully, that there is plenty of water for him. And also, fortunately for him, this geotherm auction came up. Now, I think he could press Cubit quite hard on this. And he's choosing not to. He only lets it go for 7,000. That was potentially a very valuable tile for Cubit, as he could have potentially gotten up to superconductor and simply only needed to devote 1 tile to power this entire game, now that he's taken it.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that summed it up really good. You're so good at this. Why am I even here?
Well, you're here because it's your tournament, and you're not bad at it either.
That's also true. Yeah, I need to be the representative here. So, by the way, in the midst of this, Worthless Imp, thank you for the $15 donation. And a part of that will actually go to the prize pool. So, you know, we don't have $15 anymore in the prize pool. It will now be, I don't know, maybe 50%, 75%, something like that. So, yeah, thank you Worthless for donating. That will, you know, join the small prize pool of the tournament. So, there you go.
Okay, both players up at HQ level 2 at this point. Cubit, interestingly enough, he scrapped his old steel mill and turned it into a metal mine, and then dropped 4 more steel mills, all with massive adjacency bonuses. So he's probably going to be looking to pump out steel. He's probably going to tank the price on that, get into the black market, get into glass afterward, and work on his transitions. Whereas sirslime, he's still sitting on 3 claims. He hasn't decided what to do with after upgrading. He does have 2 steel mills down. He's getting another aluminum mine, interestingly enough. Could work out okay for him, but he already has a large stockpile of aluminum stored up. And we'll just have to wait and see what he chooses to do with these last 2. Especially because Cubit probably got in his way, like you were saying, on the found on that water.
Yeah, so Cubit right now, you know, I think he's well established. Like, he has a 3 stack of silicon. He has all the aluminum that he needs. He has power. He's starting to get water. So I think, you know, next upgrade, he's just going to go on life support and, you know, just start steamrolling ahead as expansive do when they're kind of left alone. But also note in the 1 versus 1, the prices of the black market are actually higher than normal. So you can't really stop somebody in 1 versus 1 that easily.
For sure, definitely. I mean, sirslime, it would be fantastic if he could do something like work his way up to a power surge against Cubit. He knows Cubit's completely undefended. and dropping a power surge would really shut him down, but unfortunately he wasn't able to do it before Cubit got up to HQ level 3. Now it's going to be a lot harder to actually stop Cubit in his tracks. I mean, the Expansive already having this expansion lead after founding late is definitely potentially going to be a problem for our scientific player.
Yeah. And also, you know, sirslime, you know, not too bad. Getting food in the top left in that small water cluster. But I don't really see it being enough. Like, maybe reactors would have been better at this point.
Yeah, it's a good start, and food and reactors both definitely nice options, especially after food getting its buff. The reactor may be a bit better at this stage of the game, but I will point out that Cubit's already in the reactors, and so this gives sirslime kind of a nice opportunity to make money where Cubit isn't, and its food is generally a much better long-term play than reactors, as that price will stay higher a lot longer than the fuel and oxygen prices seem to, at least in the middle stages of the game.
Yeah. So right now, a aluminum shortage, not really affecting either player, and also Cubit just won a auction for 16,000 for the geothermal claim.
Yeah, far more reasonable price for the geothermal.
Oh yeah, definitely, because you know he doesn't want sirslime to actually get the claim, because you know sirslime doesn't really have power yet. He's still on level 2. He will be upgrading in a bit though. I'm gonna give it a minute or two until he upgrades. And also, I've been watching Cubit quite a bit, and what he's actually doing with auctions is he goes up to 9,000, lets the other person bid to 10,000, and then the maximum bid he would actually go up to 20,000.
Right.
And I think if we watch Cubit this tournament, I think he will be using that strategy a lot. Because a lot of players are just so desperate, they just bid 24,000.
Yeah.
And then just all that debt goes on to them. So, you know, looking forward to that, definitely.
Yeah, potentially a very nice strategy. It used to be that where you would stop was kind of like everybody would try and hit that 10,000 because everybody was really nervous about going up to that 12,000. It's like 12,000 seemed like so much debt just a month ago. But these days, everybody a lot less afraid of debt, and so I think that 20,000 stopping point is definitely kind of a nice place for Cubit to be hitting. I agree.
And also in a 1 versus 1, it's still a little bit different than free for all. So then you actually can pull it off in a 1 versus 1. Since a free for all, it's like everybody bids, and it doesn't really matter. So
Definitely.
Actually, Cubit actually getting 2 farms right now. So, he already has some glass. Also got more water. So he is right now actually producing a little bit of everything. And also, he actually stopped selling power. And he wants to choke sirslime to death with actually power. As sirslime, gets his as he gets that geothermal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So that's definitely good for him. Finally getting this geotherm up.
I mean, it will stop the choking by now, but like the amount of debt that sirslime actually has accumulated just through power is
well, it's a thought, but Cubit's debt is still far higher because he has been the one actually taking these auctions. Now, sirslime, if he had just thrown down one power plant, one geotherm somewhere, perhaps he would be in such a great position that he could push very, very hard on this auction. But regardless, 18,000. Okay, here we go.
Oh.
Sirslime's going to make that jump to 24. And this is a lot riskier because of the fact that he didn't have power down for so long, jumping his debt up to 60,000 as opposed to Cubit's 51.
Yeah. So, it's being slightly in the debt lead and then just falling behind. It just goes that easy. Like,
now, I'm very concerned about Cubit right now because, okay, I'm not too concerned because he still seems to be in a dominating position HQ level 4 to HQ level 3, but he's making some very strange decisions. He just scrapped his electrolysis and in its place threw down electrolysis, all of which is losing him money right now. His farms are losing him money. The only thing really making him any amount of money is glass. Now, a lot of that is going to be the sheer power cost of things like the reactors, but that can't be completely discounted, and I'm a little worried that Cubit's not entirely sure how to proceed from here other than moving to another upgrade. And he's going to need to figure it out before too long.
Yeah, he actually can upgrade actually right now at this very moment, not spending any money. So I think that will go down for him very shortly. And also ooh,
Here's the
wow.
play.
There's a big power play going on. Getting 4 solar panels. That is quite a bit.
Oh yeah. Cubit's just going to try and make power work, and maybe he can pull it off. He's in 46,000 debt, and unfortunately for him, as he's throwing these down, a dust storm starts up, so they're only going to be working at half efficiency. But
Yeah.
it's still quite a lot of debt paid off very rapidly, even through this dust storm, with 2 geotherms and 4 solar panels. We'll have to see how long this holds on and how much actual money he can make from it. But regardless, it's going to make it so that he can push into the late game as the expansive player very, very well, have a very high stock price. It's not going to be possible for sirslime to buy him out anytime soon.
Definitely. And also, I don't know, it's kind of bothering me, but Cubit could already, upgrade since a while ago. Like to go to level 5, but he's not really doing it. Like, are there any thoughts behind
Well,
that? Like,
he may see it as unnecessary. He may be trying to push on HQ level 4 for the victory on this power play, for example. He was trying to make some money on life support, and obviously if you upgrade, you're consuming so much life support that it doesn't really work out too well. He'd have to have committed more and more and more tiles to it, but I do agree, it was a strange decision, I think, to wait so long to actually upgrade, because I don't think there was really a good enough reason to delay that long.
yeah, I mean, it is 6 claims. Like, who doesn't want 6 claims? You
Yeah.
know? Yeah, like, I think, he could have upgraded 2 minutes ago, and he would have actually had 6 more claims. I think he could already be, like, in a new productive line, like, I don't know, like, maybe electronics. He already could be, been in that by now. But, I do believe he will actually go into electronics since he is actually getting a lot of reactors right now.
Yeah, he's going hard into reactors, and he is actually constructing an off-world market. I haven't checked the prices yet. I think oxygen was looking quite nice. Yeah, oxygen at 523, food at 524. Those are almost exactly the same. So food's going to be the nice thing to send in the short term. And chemicals are also a possibility of sending off-world up at 431, just in case things get too nuts this game. So I understand the off-world market play. We'll have to see if Cubit can make it work. Already goon squatted, so that'll be online for a while.
And also, actually, Sir Slime, he actually has a lot of food production now. Do you think, that he's going to sell everything and, like, not really pay attention to what the market is? Or do you think he will, like, hoard it for a while and just wait until, I don't know. Why should he even wait? That's a question right here.
Yeah, my big concern for sirslime is that he's put himself in a situation where he absolutely has to sell down food, and also, unfortunately for him, sometime back, there was a food surplus after he had committed so heavily into it, and that definitely hurt his food income significantly. Now, what I honestly expect at this point, sirslime's going to be forced to sell whatever he has just to try and stay in the game, try and grab up the glass, the steel he's going to need in order to keep going. And Cubit's just going to overrun him with the level 5 expansive HQ with the off-world market, sending up oxygen in this particular case. And
Yeah, that's...
I don't see much going sirslime's way.
No, not really. I mean, he built a pleasure dome. Like, that's nice to see in a 1 versus 1, right?
Yep.
You don't really
and
see
it got
that very
mutinied
often.
away very
Yeah.
quickly. Just, nope, that's my money now, thank you.
Another even though
great
it's not
thing.
really worth it at this point.
Yeah, it's not worth a whole lot. I mean, that's the thing about a 1v1, is the pleasure dome, it just doesn't, it's never worth a whole lot. And Cubit, he's just going to go ahead and finish it up with that off-world launch, go ahead and take it. One thing I absolutely loved about Cubit's off-world, by the way, was his decision to send up oxygen. This basic idea of, well, my opponent is making food, and so even though food is more profitable for me to send, I have to buy up 100 of it in order to send it off-world. So why don't I instead just send up the oxygen that I already have? And yes, it's less of a profit off the off-world, but it keeps my opponent strangled out of the game. It prevents them from making any extra money on their food and doesn't give them any kind of edge to come back in.
Yep. So actually, the reason why Cubit was waiting until actually was waiting to expand to level 5 is that uh, he expanded and immediately built the off-world, so he actually was saving for the off-world. So that's also the reason why he delayed his expand. Um, so to the post-game stats, as you can see with Cubit, he actually sold 91,000 power.
Yep.
That's quite a bit, and also sold a lot of fuel, steel, silicon glass. So yeah, like overall, and the one off-world, 52,000 from the off-world. I think yeah, that's
Yep, 52,000 from launching with the off-world. It
yeah.
was probably cheap enough to build to make it worth it. He only spent about 11,000. I mean, it's very, very narrow how much money he actually made from that because he could have just sold off the oxygen. He could have not. He could have sold off the glass that he had saved up instead. He could have not purchased the electronics. But the fact that steel was so low and it only cost him 200 steel, obviously, as an expansive player, probably made it worthwhile at the end of the day.
Yep, definitely. And also to come back to Sir Slime, overall you can see he actually sold a lot of food, 28,000, not too shabby. Also sold a lot of aluminum, 15,000. But that's actually it. Next to water, actually, that's basically it.
Yep. I mean, his production was kind of working for him. He was just a little bit. I mean, the food surplus hurt, right? There's no question that the food surplus was a little painful for him. Didn't completely knock him out of the game, but he committed so heavily to food that it was not a particularly good thing for him to have happen. And that is a really good reason not to go quite so hard into one particular resource. 5 tiles, all of them making like half the money they were just 30 seconds ago. Not a situation you ever want to force yourself into.
And also purchased 43,000 in fuel. That's
Yep.
a lot for 1 versus 1. That is quite a bit.
Well, he had no production next to his base. His found was interesting. It was close-ish to the water. It was close-ish to the steel. But realistically, at the end of the day, it was next to nothing. And so everything had to be shipped to his base. And, we saw that definitely hurt when it came to debt late in the game.
So just short talk about the black market. Sir Slime actually used 3 items for 14,000. 1 claim, 1 EMP, and 1 power surge. Actually not too bad. Like, he didn't really make much money, and actually want to try to make plays with the black market. So that's
Yeah, it was reasonable.
yeah. And then Cubit 5 items for 27,000. 1 claim, 1 mutiny, and 3 goon squads. So actually, Cubit playing a little bit passive.
Well, he knew he didn't need to get aggressive. He's against a scientific player. He's expansive himself. And so he just figured, hey, I'll just work with what I've got. No need to go after my opponent.
Indeed. So that was the match number 1 actually of the day. Cuba going through to round 2. Any thoughts on the next game actually that we're gonna be seeing? That will be Quality Time versus Saberman.
That one I'm interested in. I haven't seen a huge amount of either of these players, and I've seen Saberman more recently than Quality. But Quality has put up a fight before, and Saberman's certainly not bad either. So I'm hoping for a good match out of these two, but I have no idea who's going to win.
All right. So, guys, thank you for watching, and hope to see you next game. Peace out.